Everyone, welcome back to Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be making Gulab Jamuns out of Mawa, which is koya, which is store-bought. And I've got a lot of emails saying that please make Gulab Jamuns out of koya or Mawa. This recipe comes from my mom, Razia Ramtullah. Now, I will also be making another Gulab Jamun recipe because there are, I know, a lot of states or countries that, Mawa is not readily available. So I will be making one that you can use powder milk in that. But let's get started. This is going to be a very, very simple recipe. So before we start with the jamuns itself, let me show you here that I've already gotten my jasni started, which is the sugar syrup. Now this video is on YouTube and I'm going to try and put the link up there for you guys to see, but I'm making it again and I thought you guys didn't have to watch it, me making it again. So there is a video if you guys want. The quick measurement for that is 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, pinch of cardamom, and a pinch of saffron. And we're just gonna let that simmer and boil a little bit until you see the one thread and it's just a little sticky, and then we're gonna shut it off. So for the jamuns, what I'm going to do with the mawa is I'm going to go ahead and grate this. This is going to be a 12-ounce, 341 grams of koya. I am going to grate this, and you don't need to watch me grate it, so I'm going to keep that aside. Now we're also going to need, soji, which is semolina, and we're going to be using 3/4 cup of semolina. Now, you want to take the same amount of semolina or soji as you're gonna take the milk. So 3/4 cup goes in here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the 3/4 cup of milk in here. And the milk doesn't have to be heavy or anything. It just can be any regular 2% milk will work just fine. And I'm just gonna add that into my bowl here. And now the only thing with this jamuns is that we're gonna have to let this mixture rest for about 2 hours until the suji or the semolina starts soaking up all the milk, and it's gonna become a really nice mixture. So we're gonna leave this for about 2 hours, and with that we're also gonna be adding a pinch of baking powder into it after we're done. So when we come back about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I'm gonna have the koya or the mawa grated, and we're gonna go ahead and make the dough for it, and then we're gonna go ahead and fry it, and then we're gonna go ahead and dip them into the sugar syrup. So see you in a little bit. So sugar syrup is all done. You can tell just by me stirring it that it's become nice. It's not very, very thick, and that's exactly where you want it. When you put it in between your fingers, you have to get a 1-thread consistency. So if you just let it cool in your hands just a little bit, and then when you go like that, you'll see that 1 thread, and that's perfect. Because for the gulab jamuns, you don't want the syrup to be very, very thick, or you don't want it to be very, very thin. It just has to be that 1 thread consistency. So we're gonna leave this rest on the side. We'll warm it up later because when we get our semolina and milk mixture still is getting together, so we still got about an hour to go. So we're just gonna put this aside and come back. So now we have our mawa, and I've grated everything here that you see. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to have a dirty pan here, but I just did a Gujarati version, and I'm actually doing 2 videos at the same time, so just excuse me, I'm using the same pan. Here I want to show you the soji, the semolina, and the milk mixture. Look how beautiful it looks. It looks like a dough, and that's how exactly you want it. Now what you want to do is you want to put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and no more than that. You just want to pinch, and you just want to make sure that you really mix this really well, so it incorporates really well with the semolina and the milk. Okay, so at this point I am going to start putting this inside our mawa mixture. And now I also have some evaporated milk sitting here, not condensed milk, not sweet milk. It's the evaporated milk that we use in tea. Now I have some sitting here just in case We might knead it because the dough sometimes has the consistency and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not gonna cut this video, and the reason is because I really want you to see the consistency of this dough, how it's gonna come. And what you want to do is when you start kneading it, you just want to knead it where you're breaking up all that pieces of mawa you're gonna feel in your hand. So you're kind of just massaging it to break all that up. And you'll know that the dough. Now, when I made my Gujarati video, this dough was very, very stiff. And I had to add about 2 tablespoons of the carnation milk powder in it. In this one, I honestly don't feel that I need to add any in there. So I'm not going to add any in there. So I'm just gonna leave this. And what you wanna do is you wanna leave this dough for about 5 minutes. So it kind of gets, the baking powder starts working, the koya starts mixing with all the ingredients, and the mixture will get just a little bit drier too. So you just want to leave this mixture just about 5 minutes, and then you want to start rolling your gulab jamuns. And on the side here, just want to show you that I have the oil preheating. In the beginning, it's gonna be a little hot, then we're gonna move it down completely. But I'm kind of heating it up really slowly. Here I have the chansni, and it's on really, really low. I just want it to be completely just medium low, just not even, just lukewarm. So at this time, I've had it on the stove for a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. So let me go ahead and leave this for 5 minutes. When I come back, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna start making the balls and then start frying these up. So I've started rolling these up, and I wanna show you these step by step. So I let this wait, and in the middle, if it's sticky, then I'll just kind of spread it out. And by it hitting the air, it's gonna start drying it up, and that's what you want. If it sticks in your hand, like I am putting a little bit of ghee in my hand, rubbing it, and my hands are warm, so it'll melt it. And then you just want to take like a little bit, and you start rolling it just in between your palms, just like so. And you want to do a tight, not a very tight, but you want to do a tight roll. So this way, what happens is when you're done, you have no cracks. See, it has to be a smooth mixture surface. And so what I've done here is I've just started rolling them up and putting them on the side. And while I've put some in my oil, but what I'm going to do is I am going to finish doing these, and then we're gonna come back, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to fry these up. So we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so we're going to show you how we're going to fry these up. So you can see that the oil is not to the point where it started bubbling and frying it up. It's doing its thing. It's doing it slowly. And that's where you have your gulab jamuns are gonna turn out. They're gonna look like this. You're gonna have to, this is on a little higher than the very low. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put in about, I have a good size wok here. So a good 12 to 15 of these gulab jamuns will fit in here. And so I'm just gonna start just putting them in there, and then I'll show you. I really don't play around with it. I let it do its own thing until it gets a little bit of color. Once it gets a little bit of color, then I kind of, take this and I just kind of play with it where it, moves around. Right now, the skin is too sensitive, so I'm not going to put my utensil in there because I really don't want to break it or puncture it. So that is why I'm just gonna let it do its own thing. And then once now this is gonna give you a good, this is gonna fry between 10 to 12 minutes. So don't rush it, just let it fry on its own. And if you want, I'm just gonna move it just a little bit so it gets even heating everywhere. So you can see this one, if it's already started browning on the bottom, so that's why I just kind of moved it around just a little bit. And this will fry for about 10, like I said, between 10 to 12 minutes on low, and then you'll be able to do two colors. Like you could either do them where they are really dark like this, or even darker than these, or you could do them where they're, you know, the golden color that they usually are. And then once we come back and I have fried these up, I am going to show you what they look like in the chasni or in the sugar syrup, and then I will also explain you a couple different pointers what to do if, you know, if you like them really soft and soggy compared to if you like the ones that have like a harder shell on the, you know, on the outside and just a bit of the chasni inside, so it's not very sweet. So I'm gonna go finish frying these up and I'll be back. So here we're all done with our gulab jamuns. I'm so excited. They turned out amazing. And so here it is. These are 60 gulab jamuns. Now, please don't have a heart attack because I made two videos, one for Gujarati and one for English. So that's why I have 30 each. So 12 ounce of the koya or mawa is going to make about 30. Now, I want to talk about some stuff here that you might find important, and that is if you want soggy, soft gulab jamuns, then what you want to do is you want to take your hot gulab jamuns when they come out from the oil and then put them in the hot sugar syrup or chasni. But if you want something that has a little bit of a thicker outer layer and not too much of the sugar syrup in there, then you want to do it where you're gonna take out your gulab jamuns and you're gonna put them in lukewarm chasni or sugar syrup. So I have already done a taste test and I'm on a sugar high, but I'm gonna do just one more bite for you guys. This one here is the one that's the saturated one, the one that absorbed all the sugar syrup. The one here is the one that I love with the crispy shell, not crispy, but a little bit harder shell. And the inside is not that saturated with the sugar syrup. I'm sorry, I have syrup everywhere, but I had great fun making these. These were so easy. I've always thought that, you know, mawa gulab jamuns are gonna be really annoying to make, but seriously, I honestly had a lot of fun making it, and they are absolutely delicious. So now make sure you guys watch out for my recipe that does not contain mawa. It's going to be gulab jamuns that just have the powdered milk in it. So I'm going to have that uploaded in a couple weeks. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends.